ends meet. What if I told you that knowing how much you are worth could be the start to leading a much better life? In this video, I'll be explaining to you what net worth is and why it is important to focus on it and how it can help you get to where you want to be. What you are about to learn will show you the kind of status wealth young people attain compared to other well-established older people and how to get out of the current state. Whether you're new to the world of cash or you want to improve your financial literacy profile, this first part will provide information which few people bother to gather. Do you find yourself prepared for becoming financially independent and providing for yourself and your close ones? Well, there you have it. So much of the knowledge that you gain here could turn everything that you think about money and wealth upside down. It is pertinent to comprehend the significance of net worth, especially for the persons who set high ambitions in their operational financial goal. It's not a way of making wealth, but it is a way of keeping score and assessing where one stands in the job market. That is why when people comprehend the concept of net worth, they can understand the best way to manage on their financial information to enable them to conquer the issues of life. Visualize the capacity of being a provider for your family, having the knowledge of making a bright future. This concept enables people to be more capable to manage themselves against financial stress and thrive. Evaluating one's net worth can help set good and challenging financial goals and shove individuals into attaining it. Before disclosing the meaning of net worth and focusing on what it is and how it works, let's define it. It really comes down to what many of us already know as the definition of net worth, which is total value of assets less total value of liabilities. It is just a picture of the state of your money at any one time. For example, if you own a house that is valued at $300,000 and had a mortgage of $200,000, your worth here is $100,000. This small calculation actually can be the turning point when a person tries to improve the financial strategy. So, following the concept of net worth, it is possible to track the changes and note such factors influencing own choice in investing and savings. The social impact of opioids is like having a scorecard alerting you on progress towards a better life. Interesting to see similar statistics change across the different age groups and what they will mean when going into age-based benchmarks next. Calculated net worth by dividing people into age groups, reference figures help to observe the financial advancement. The median net worth expectations are different with ages for different people because everyone has their financial career. For instance, the targeted net worth at the age of 30 is $50,000, while a person in their 50s would expect to have at least $300,000. These benchmarks act as goals that force a person to deliver his or her best in any form of money-related business. Two things that must be pointed out are the fact that these percentages are not fixed and they might vary depending on education, the choice of career, and possibly even the state. In this way, relations between self-assessment and benchmarking depend on the idea that these benchmarks help the person understanding the context and knowing how to develop. Before proceeding to the discussion on the predefined age groups, we will analyze why the former has lesser net worth and what needs to be done in order to rectify this. The problem of the low net worth for the young customers is associated with their lower income and lack of experience. At this stage in life, many are just starting their careers, and often they have students' loans and other financial responsibilities which put pressure on them. For instance, a recent college graduate, who probably does not have a job, may have a net worth of over zero, especially if she pays on student credit. But this does not mean that they cannot forecast the conditions which will enable a more positive transition to be made. From personal experience, everyone who wants to achieve a better financial state needs to set goals for self-board and immediately start setting up a well-thought-out budget and the right saving tips even during their 20s. Basic things like creating a high-yield savings account or speculating on cheap index mutual funds are some of the ways that help create great wealth in the long run. As we plan for the future wealth levels necessary to belong to the top 10% of earners in each age group, it is important to know how these choices can impact the future. For anyone to be in the upper echelon of the AGI in any age bracket, these are rather large net worth numbers by any standard, and learning these thresholds can be quite illuminating. For example, it will take about $150,000 in net worth to qualify for the millennial inception level, while more than $1 million for those born in the 1950s. This is evident by the stark difference between the two entities: strategic financial planning and sustaining it for the long haul. Those who want to be high performers should not only work for dollars but for worth more as indicated in fixed assets such as houses or shares. Thus, financial targets framed both in general and short-term terms along with periodic checks on achievement can be a good motivator for self-development. So let's think critically and understand that it is not the luck which brings the values up to these thresholds, but the constant work on increasing the level of the financial literacy. We can now turn to the overall understanding of how those benchmarks can change with time, as we will discuss the wealth gap that appears as people get older. It is for this reason that the authors observe a clear trend of increasing wealth differential with age, leading to a clear distribution of the various groups depending on net assets. This may have been as a result of a number of factors such as career progression, investment, inheritance, among others. For example, although a 40-year-old has saved $300,000 to his or her virtual name, his or her peers may be anybody from $100,000 to $1.2 million based on personal behaviors in managing his or her financial capacity. This shows that the pressures in the financial sector should be dealt with a high sense of flexibility and adaptability. The gap will, however, be closed by people that advocate for personal growth by investing in learning and putting value in strategic investments. Just using such resources as books or courses, one can gain better control over his or her financial decisions. Moving to our next topic regarding financial growth, let us briefly discuss how calculating one's net worth in a regular basis can reduce this wealth divide. The concept of calculating net worth often and for a long time is one of the primary strategies of personal finance improvement. It is a kind of a navigational instrument which shows individuals the right direction. The advantage of recording assets and liabilities is that people can spot patterns and make changes to their financial planning. For example, if someone is seeing a constant number in his or her net worth, perhaps that is the right time to reconsider their investment portfolio or reduce their spending. Such an approach does not only build resilience but also personal development because people are put through hoops of understanding their own money management needs. Such measures as, for instance, having a planned savings automation or investing in diverse portfolios can greatly enhance the scale of operational financial outcomes introduced to an individual. Also, the existence of concrete goals, such as raising net worth by 10% each year, is beneficial for motivation and goal definition. When moving to the tools that can help improve the financial situation of an enterprise in the further section, it will be interesting to discuss the role of technology in the identified growth initiatives. As we continue to live more technological and innovative lives, use of such things like financial applications can be of greatly beneficial in improving one's financial situation and hence the high performance. The apps like the Alex also give users recommendations about their net worth, investment, and budgeting, and this way, helps to monitor one's improvement and learning. Suppose you have your right financial mentor in your pocket teaching you all the aspects about making and managing money. The use of technology makes it possible for a person to have a feel of something that is better in life depending on the cash that he has. Also, such materials always provide the user with tools for personal development and protection against the financial stress. Thus, it is necessary to sum up the further analysis of net worth and their importance for organizing one's financial life in order to build a successful future. Today, having widened your understanding of what net worth is and how it impacts your life, it is high time to play the given knowledge. Ask yourself, in what ways can you get better off financially today? Please keep this in mind. This is only the first section of the learning path with me. In the next video, you will actually see a few even more practical ways to build wealth and become a happier person. Best of all, don't miss these insights that can help change your life. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you can see the continuation of this important conversation. There is a bright sunny day ahead of you financially, and every action you take leads you closer to this bright future. Are you ready for this process?